3.2 mile flashlight test in good weather. So here we have flashlight 1 on the east end at 3.2 miles, flashlight 2 in the middle, roughly, at 1.56 miles distance from the observer, and then the observer on the west end. The flashlights and the observer are all 5 feet above the water surface. The laser was added in the second part of the video, and the middle flashlight was removed for the second part of the video. So that's what that's about. In this video, you can see actual miraging, as in like what you would see on pavement, because the water was actually warmer than the air, because it started out as a nice hot day, but then it cooled off and got dark, but the water was still warm. So the reflections that you see of the light and the laser are actually not off the surface of the water. They're actually reflecting off of the strong bottom light, or the top heavy density gradient right near the surface of the water. Alright, the flashlight lake test again. Except this time on a beautiful, clear, warm day. Sun's just getting down. It's about a little after 6 o'clock, but it's very pleasant. We've got a little bit of wave, but not more than a couple inches. Put that right on that rock. That's going to give us an approximation for height. We've got the flashlight at 5 feet this time. Skosh higher, but I'm not going to mess with it because I got to beat dark. So it's looking right out at that little point there. And you can see I can use this reflector on a stick as a detector to detect where my light beam is. So right out at that point there is where I'm pointing the flashlight. I have a little retro reflector on the end of there. Okay, now I'm at the middle point in my line. Back there you can see, where'd it go? There it is. There's my other light, just glimmering away. And I've got this flashlight set up. I measure right off this rock. This little puddle is just filling from the lake, so it's kind of an average reading. I read right off that rock. And this light is 60 inches or 5 feet up. And then at about 40, let's see here. At about 44, 45 inches, I have a red filter. It's hanging below. And then it's pointing out over this way. You can see where the beam's going by where this lights up. I might have to adjust that a little, but you get the idea. I'm pointing for right there, actually. It's a little wavy out here. They're a couple inches tall right here. But I'm measuring off of a calm spot right there. See, you can just make a hole and it fills up with water. Okay, now we're at the final point in the line, and the sun's kind of getting ready to set, but got the theodolite set up here. The lights are right out there. They're both right there, but you can't see them as separate because of limit of angular resolution. The total station, or the theodolite, is set up measuring the water surface just a skosh above 5 feet, like 61 inches, I guess. That's where it ended up. Okay, I've got this thing set straight and level. Vertical angle, 0 degrees. Actually, it's just like an arcsecond down from level. And you can see the two lights are below eye level. I think my distant light's going dead or something. It's not very bright. Now I've tilted it 42 arcseconds down to point it at the upper light, the nearer light. More or less. Now I've tilted it down 1 minute, or 1 arc minute and 37 arcseconds for the more distant light. More or less. I'll bring that up a little bit. There, that about bisects that horizontal crosshair. Okay, correct that to 1 minute 35 arcseconds. Below eye level, that's what the negative means. Vertical angle, negative 0 degrees, 1 minute 34 seconds. And it is just a gorgeous evening out here for sure. Sun's kind of starting to get low. And just for good measure, I pointed it down at the horizon. So you can see a lot of what looks like frothy waves, but I think that's just refraction playing tricks right near the surface of the water. Now I got the Nikon P1000 about 5 feet above the water. Unfortunately, I was not able to get it lined up with the red filter. So that's what we get when you're working by oneself. But I can decrease the exposure so you can see them more clearly. Turn it back up to bright. The sun's about set now. Alright, now we're back at the far light to take it down or whatever. Let's see if it's still wrong end. there. It just rocks just at the surface level. Actually, that's not the one I'm after. That's the one I'm after. Right there. And it looks like it's still at 5 feet. 60 inches. And it's kind of dusk about now. Okay, now I'm at the 3 mile mark, and I've got a little tiny low power laser set up at about 12 inches above the water, right on the leg of my tripod there. And then I've got the regular light set up top just for sighting purposes, just to help me find where the laser's supposed to be. Just for completeness, it's about still 5 feet above the water, roughly. But material, the height on that is immaterial. It's just to help me find where the laser is from the other side, which is over there, which I can point out with my little retro reflector, somewhere right over there. And for completeness, the little laser diode is see, it's a laser, all right. You get right in it. Anyway, is running off of this old iPad battery or whatever it is. Just super simple. For further clarity, the waves have died down quite a bit now, so you can see that they're just like maybe half an inch, and this is at the 3 mile mark here too. And now that way is the midpoint that I was using before, and beyond that is the far end. Okay, I've stopped by the midpoint here. This is where I had my tripod set up to show that the waves are pretty calm here. So there's no 1 foot breakers going on. Maybe an inch or so. It's very calm now. Now there's some couple inch ones, but anyway, it's not as wavy like it was earlier. And over there is the light and the laser, although I'm not sure how that laser is going to work out. I'm about 10 or 15 feet above the water at the west end of the sight line, and you can see the flashlight and the laser and a reflection of each, it looks like. Full optical zoom on the P1000. Figured why turn on digital zoom, I can do that later. And out there is the light, which my camera on my phone doesn't want to focus to. Plus cars going along the road over there. Yeah, it doesn't want to focus. Now I've got the camera about, well, there's 5 feet. There's the camera, so about 5 foot 3-4 inches above the water. And I can see the lights, or the flashlight and its reflection, but I cannot see the laser anymore. So the laser is at 1 foot above the water. I'm at 5.2 or 5.3 feet above the water, and I cannot see the laser. But I could when I was up at 10 or 15 feet. Now I've gone up another foot or two, and now the laser is just starting to wink through sometimes. Okay, I've come up a couple more feet, and now the laser is visible and steady, but still very near its own reflection. I've come up a few more feet here, and now the laser is appearing above its own reflection. Okay, I'm standing at the shore now, and when I'm standing up I can see the light, and when I squat down the light disappears. Stand up, stand up, squat down. Okay, I'm back to the far east point. The flashlight is still just a few inches above 5 foot. And the laser is still right about 12 inches.